VJ Edgecombe, just watch out down below. You're going to go up it? No. I appreciate that you went to contest that. This is not going to end well for anybody that's trying to go up against that guy. He plays so big, so strong, and so confident for a rookie. It is a ton of fun to watch him play. VJ Edgecombe, our Toyota electrifying moment for that big dunk. So VJ Edgecombe, we know what he does in the box score. You can see it. It's numerically written right there. A couple of steals, some points, rebounds, all the good stuff, assists. But there's a lot of stuff that doesn't show up, and that's what we're going to break down in our film session. So, Mark, this might show up as like maybe one steal or one rebound, but there's so much more to what VJ Edgecombe does on the court that doesn't show up necessarily, and you can't put a number on it.
Amy, listen, I've been preaching this guy's praises on the defensive end with his athleticism and his energy. He brings a exuberance of youth and energy to the team. He gives them a jolt right in the veins. Pay attention here. He's on the ball. This is one on. Look at the spacing here. We call this left on the island. You got to man up for yourself. Comes up with the block, creating opportunities they call fouling the Wizards team. Watch this right here. You're not backing me down. What you thinking? I'm 5'10"? Get out of here. I'm 6'6". Watch this play. That we call that on the island. We're going to leave. You got to be able to defend. Right here, get into the lane, shoots a good move, didn't come. But watch this. Does not give up the play. Creates an opportunity for Paul George to get a wide open three. Not giving up on a play. That's youth. That's energy. Back in C.J. McCollum, who's about 6'4", big guard, but he's not bigger than VJ. And VJ's energy level surpasses all of them all. And that's how Paul George got the shot. Watch here in the corner. Watch this play. He's in help position, reading. Boop. Passing lane. Get through. Wasn't able to recover this pass and get a dunk. But watch this. Never giving up on a play. Coming through again. Watch this, rebounding. Look at the nonstop energy. All these plays is from VJ. Gets the ball here. If the ball's in the corner, plays come to you. The play is not for this side of the floor. Get it to the other side. That's important. That's basketball 101, and able Barlow to get it in one.
Yeah, I mean, how impressive is it? This guy's a rookie. 20 games in the...
Is he really, though?
I know.
He don't play like
He's
it.
20 years old. He's played less than 20 games in his NBA career. The awareness of looking just on that last play right there, of knowing that, okay, now I know we're here. This isn't where the play is. I need to immediately pass, and there was a bucket and a bonus from
That's knowing the game. A lot of young people rely so much on athleticism, they get them by. They don't learn the game. Yeah. Some people come with it, and some people do not. This kid has the athleticism, the bouncy energy, and he has the mindset to go with it. That's a winning player right there, especially when you surround him around vets who appreciate him.
Yeah, he brings that energy and that exuberance you're talking about, but he's not out of control with it.
Never.
I think that's the thing. You know, you can get out there and be all kind of like willy-nilly, but he's really contained in what they're trying to do, especially on the defensive end, because that can be where you make the careless fouls, or you get a rebound, but you turn the ball over immediately because you don't really have your legs under you. You don't see that from him.
You don't see none of that. You don't see none of the out-of-control actions like a young guy should have.
Yeah.
He's so much mature beyond his years. And when people, let's go back, let's bring the receipts. When he was drafting, people were like, oh, you should have got Age. He was so much more. Why you choose this guy? And Maury and Owen kept saying, we got our guy. We know who we want. They got him because they seen something. They seen the other attributes that don't necessarily add up on the stat sheet, but it adds up to winning.
Yeah, and it's the way that he fits with this team,
yes.
too. It is a perfect fit, yes. Him and Tyrese Maxey back there. It's been a lot of fun to watch. It's just a little bit of what we've got for you on VJ Edgecombe. We've got plenty more as we examine this win over the Wizards, and we're going to look ahead a little bit as well.
Coming up after Sixers Postgame Live, it's an Eagle Eye Takeover edition of Birds Huddle. Rube, are you confident the Eagles turn this season around?
No. No, after watching these last two games, it's hard to be confident in this team. No changes so far. Status quo. Can't imagine them getting back to where they were last year.
Yeah, but how about you guys watch us anyway? It'll be a lot of fun. For now, we send it back to Amy and Mark.
All right, Dave. We are locked in. We will be watching you guys. Here is a great line from Jared McCain. This is a guy that's coming off 29 minutes and 5 points on Sunday. It was a rough game for him. What a bounce back. Look at that, plus minus 37.
Wow.
14 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 6 of 11, made a couple of threes. It's a very good game for him. You're looking at a player that we've been waiting for him to kind of get his mojo back, get his legs under him after that knee injury last year, and obviously a little bit of the derailed start with the thumb injury right before the season. What did you make of Jared McCain overall?
He was in rhythm, Amy. He was truly in rhythm, looking like he's getting his legs up under him. which allowing his shot to go in because his shot sets up everything else.
Right.
Once he looks at the rim, everybody comes flying, which allows him to put the ball on the floor, create plays up like this right here. Because he's such a threat from long distance, you got to respect him, which opening lanes up for him.
You heard Tyrese Maxey asked about him in postgame with Kate and Ala, and he was like, Tyrese was talking about Jared and said, it's just really good to see him kind of getting back to where we need him to be. Mm-hmm. They all recognize that he can be a special player for them. And when you're talking about the bench unit, he's a guy that could lead the way along with Quentin Grimes.
Absolutely, Amy. His ability to come off the bench and get his team early consistency and ability to be a floor spacer that causes more lanes to open for other guys means so much.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch because he had struggled. The first couple of games, he didn't make a single shot. He went down to the G League, played a couple of games with the Bluecoats, maybe found his rhythm a little bit there and has come back. And it's been, maybe one step forward, one step back, but you're hoping now with another game coming up this week, and then they obviously have the back-to-back Thursday and Friday, that he can get in that rhythm. Because a lot of it is about just playing time, just getting out there and getting your kind of rhythm going because you're back in another game instead of, a day off or you have a little bit of an injury or maybe you don't have as many minutes because of the way the game shakes out.
Absolutely, Amy. I think it's so important. And plus, for Nick Nurse had that confidence, he's no longer on restrictions, so he can use him as he finds fit. Put him in, put him in, and he has confidence. He don't have to worry about the numbers that say mean playing time. So I think that's very important. I know McCain likes that too. All players, let me say from a player's point of view, all players, we value the importance of the training staff to put us on minutes restriction. But it's a game of chess in our head because during the game, we're calculating when we're going to get pulled.
Right.
How much longer we have. I can hurry get some shots off. I can hurry get a rhythm. He's about to sit. But it's very important. When you off that, you just play free. You get your rhythm and you can help the team more.
Yeah, you're not looking over your shoulder like, oh, I missed a couple of shots. Is someone coming in for me? You can get that rhythm. You can feel good about it. And as you mentioned, the Nick Nurse has that confidence in Jared McCain. Well, we are at about the quarter pole. It's an 82-game season, so we are at 20 games in. This is where everything stands right now. The Knicks and the Celtics are actually playing each other really, I think tonight or later tonight. But this is where the Sixers are. They're in that 8th spot, which honestly, the way that they've had one game with Paul George, Tyrese Maxey, and Joel Embiid. I think if you told me at the beginning of the season that they would be 2 games over 500, sitting in the 8th spot of a very tough East without, a majority of their guys playing these games, I think you'd take it.
I think they'd take this 100% knowing that ammunition is coming soon. Where Kelly Oubre and everybody and Paul George slowly but surely coming off the minutes restrictions, things are starting to ramp up for you. So you just need to stay afloat. Stay afloat. Don't sink. Stay afloat till everybody gets healthy. Now, with that being said, can we make a move, meaning move up as when everybody, with the exceptions Joel Embiid? Yes, we can.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing when you're looking at it. There's some surprises. Certainly the Pistons have been a surprise. I think people thought that they were going to be a playoff team. I know Mark and I had them on our list.
Yep.
But
we didn't think
had
that.
them at the first. But the Raptors are another team, a young team, very long, very rangy, that they're a bit of a surprise. Are there any other surprises in there? Because I think the East has a little bit more parity than we're used to. There's going to be more of a balanced effort.
Well, I actually thought Orlando would be what Detroit is.
Okay.
They struggled a little bit coming out the gates. They struggled a little bit coming out the gates, but they're starting to find their groove. Now, with that being said, I thought Atlanta had something up their sleeve at the acquisitions they made this summer, but I expect them to be doing this without Trey.
Right.
So now they actually, a lot of numbers been circulating, they're a better team without Trey. Now, how do they continue to move? If they keep them afloat, they keep going up. But when Trey gets back inserted there, it's going to be some problems.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see. The Sixers obviously wanting to stay in that top. They'd love to stay in the top 6, but the top 8 so they can think about the playoffs. It'd be really nice to have come April. We're talking about Dominic Barlow. We were previewing him and how he fits in so well here. We'll show you his night. Go inside the box score. Sixers finished with 45.5%. Pretty good 3-point shooting for them, 51 rebounds, 26 assists, 11 turnovers. That's a very good number. Also, not noted on here, but something Mark was talking about earlier is the 42 bench points. That is something that's really impressive for this team because they did not have Quentin Grimes, who leads all 6 men in the league. Let's check it in now with Paul George after this one.
It's getting there. It's getting there. You got to get my legs a little bit under me, get a little stronger. I just feel like my legs aren't as strong as they need to be. Just get them under me a little bit. Kind of feel the training camp legs a little bit. This is my training camp, first couple games. Just getting my legs and everything under me. But, I don't know. It's a little fatigued for some reason.
What's the key to that? Is that's more so just getting the reps and then?
Yeah, it's just reps. It's just reps. it's taking advantage of off days and, getting these games under my belt.
And to kind of go off of that, you mentioned after the last game, like now it's just about just getting to work and getting to work. Like, what does that look like for you personally now, kind of day after day, depending on whether it's a game day or an off day, like you said?
Yeah, just keeping the main thing. Just focus on basketball. Off days, taking care of my body, getting up shots, game days, getting into a rhythm, getting into a flow. Finding what my, game day regimen is here. And then, at that point, just letting everything just kind of take care of itself. But for me, it's just happy that I'm able to string games together right now. After, the rough season last year, being hurt, being injured, it feels good to be healthy and being able to play consistently now. So, that's the main concern for me. Everything else I think will take care of itself.
You talked about wanting to take the young guys here under your wing as much as you can. I saw coming out of the timeout, I think in the second quarter, you were talking to Bona for a while. Like you were either giving him some advice or pumping him up, I guess, without giving away any secrets. Could you sort of talk about what that conversation was?
Yeah, we missed on a easy two, where it was a turnover, where he had him sealed. And, I know we haven't played a ton, so, it's more of a kind of us getting on the same page type of things. And for me, it's like that's offense is done. He's got a guard on him. He's got a seal. I'm throwing that over top where he can just catch and finish at the basket. So might be a little different. I'm not used to it, but just letting them know where like I see you and I'm looking for that. So it was a good conversation. I think in the future we'll connect on a lot more of those.
Jabari gave you guys a big lift off the bench. What are you kind of seeing from him, and whether it be in practice or in games? What stands out to you a bit about what he's doing?
Jabari, man, he's just a bully. So physical, so strong. He's kind of a glue guy. Does a little bit of everything. Spreads the floor, guards, rebounds. He does so much of the little dirty work. He's the tough enforcer. He's a bully for us out there. So very valuable to have Barry on us.
20 games in, about a quarter of the way through. What's your assessment of the way the season's going for the team so far?
Good. Despite again injuries and guys in and out and us having to shift in mode, I would say good. I think now we should have some consistency with health. So, hopefully we'll be trending. We got a nice break coming up. We should come out of that, trending upward.
You're talking about a little break because they do have the way the NBA comes structured.
Unfortunately.
Some break. Maybe it's like a little mini training camp because Paul George was talking about a little training camp. Still has training camp legs. But that goes back to the consistency and rhythm that we were just talking about. He needs to try to get some more reps out there so he can get his legs going as if it's, quarter way through the season.
Absolutely. I like that. Very important. I think that brings team chemistry and get more teams in rhythm.
Oh, the one thing that can get your legs going in the right way as far as ready for the season is a back-to-back, and that's exactly what the Sixers have Thursday and Friday. We'll talk about that coming up here. Let's check out what the Sixers have ahead. They have that Warriors game on Thursday, followed by the Bucks. That one's on the road. And then another one against the first one against the Lakers here at home. But it is a first of a back-to-back. You're hoping to get everybody as healthy as possible, but that is going to help with the rhythm. We were just talking about that. This is a team that's only played, one game with their big three. You're looking at a lot of pieces that are coming in and out. To be 11-9, I think all things considered is pretty good, but I know they'd like to get a little bit more consistent play.
Absolutely. You get better consistent play. We have more people consistently playing in the games, Amy. With that being said, hopefully the Sixers get through these stretch of game, which is going to be hard. Get through that break, but with that break come some real good practice and build as a team.
Yeah, they will have a number of practice, like a little mini camp for them. All right, that's going to wrap it up for this edition of Sixers Postgame Live, brought to you by Kia Auto Insurance. For Mark Jackson, I'm Amy Fiddle. Thanks so much for joining me. We will see you on Thursday.